Everybody, UCIS has recently updated its contact center phone tree system. What that means is that there are some big changes to the way you can make an inquiry on your case, check the status of your case, and also some changes to the way you can reschedule your biometric appointment. We'll talk about all these things, all these changes in this video. So, what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where you get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration updates, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnik, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and we help clients in all 50 states. If you have any questions or you need immediate help with your case, you know what to do. Use this phone number, text me 619-483-4549. We are here to help you. So let's jump right into the video. This is an important video because many of you have applications, cases pending with USCIS, the Immigration Service inside the United States. Whether it's your green card application, a work permit, an extension of your status, it is important to understand how to communicate with USCIS and how to make an inquiry or expedite your case if you need to. First of all, we're going to talk about the updated USCIS contact center. So USCIS recently has updated its contact center phone system. It no longer requires numerical prompts. It's completely speech-enabled or interactive voice response system. The bigger changes that USCIS recently implemented is that you have to go through the interactive voice response system first before you get a live agent. And many people get frustrated because sometimes you really have to speak to a live agent. The reason these changes are being implemented at the moment is because they have a very large volume of calls. People are frustrated with the backlogs, case delays. They don't have the human power to be able to respond to these calls, and therefore they've implemented the system. Also, applicants that actually need to speak to a Tier 2 supervisor will no longer be transferred automatically based on request. Instead, a USCIS contractor will determine if your request is urgent or regular, and then we'll decide if it's going to go to a Tier 2 supervisor. Urgent requests will get a call back from a supervisor within 48 hours, and regular requests will get a call back within 7 days. This is based on the most recent update from USCIS. So let's talk about some basic tips to navigate the USCIS contact center. The contact center essentially is comprised of the IVR, Interactive Voice Response System, and live USCIS contractors that are there to assist as well once you're done with that system. They essentially have two tiers. Tier 1 comprised of USCIS contract employees, which is live basic assistance. Remember that Tier 1 employees can only give you general, basic information. They cannot go too deep into your case. For that, you need to speak to Tier 2 level supervisor. Now remember, as I mentioned before, there is no longer the option to automatically be transferred to a Tier 2 supervisor. The contract employees will determine if your request is urgent or regular, and you'll get a call back. It is important for you to know that because so many applicants are frustrated because they're not able to get through the system, and therefore I'm making this video to explain to you how things work at the moment. So now let me give you some tips on checking your case status and placing an inquiry with USCIS. This is based on the most recent updates, how you should do it right now. So first of all, if you're trying to call the phone system, the USCIS phone system, and you get frustrated because you cannot get through and you need urgent answers, I would suggest to try their online tool, also known as Emma. This tool is available on their website. It's almost like a chat. It's an interactive chat, and you're going to be able to get a lot of information by getting in there, even your case status, most detailed information. So I highly recommend trying the Emma chat before calling the USCIS phone contact center. If this doesn't work, I would recommend to place an e-inquiry directly on the USCIS website. Once again, the link to the e-inquiry, e-request is also in the description of this video. Here are 5 tips that I recommend to give you the best results when trying to make an inquiry with USCIS. Tip number 1, when making an inquiry with USCIS, always make that inquiry early in the week, Mondays or Tuesdays. The reason we want to do that, because remember, if you're waiting for a call back and it's going to take them 48 hours, even 5 days, the earlier in the week you do that, the sooner you get the call back. You're going to be making your inquiry later in the week. You're going to be getting the results of your inquiry probably in the following week, which obviously will delay the whole thing. So remember, when making inquiries, do that early in the week. Number 2, When making an urgent inquiry, remember the urgent inquiries are the ones that you're requesting a call back within 24 hours or less. Never make those inquiries on a Friday, because if you do, that inquiry is no longer going to be considered urgent, and who knows when those agents are going to get back to you. So for urgent inquiries, always, once again, make them early in the week, also early in the morning. Number 3, if you're calling about multiple family members, let's say you have a case for your father, your mother, your sister, make sure you limit your inquiries to 3 matters only. Ideally to 1 matter per call, so you get the most focus and the most attention to get the inquiry results that you need. So my recommendation is when you call USCIS, focus on 1 matter only per call. This way you get the best results of your inquiry. Number 4, when leaving a phone number, make sure it's always a cell phone for callback. Remember I mentioned before, if it's an urgent inquiry, you're going to get a call back within 48 hours. If it's a regular matter, you're going to call back within 7 days. When leaving a phone number, don't leave them a phone number at work that has an extension. Always give them your cell phone, so when they call you back, you're going to be able to answer their call, because they most likely won't leave you a voicemail. Remember, a callback should always be to a cell phone. Number 5, very important tip. Make sure your phone settings is not blocking unknown callers. You can change it in your settings, because USCIS and other government agencies typically call you back from an unlisted number. Usually says unknown caller. If your phone is not accepting unknown caller numbers, you're not going to be able to receive the call back, and you're never going to be able to make that inquiry or check on your case status using the callback system information. So, very important tip. And we had quite a few clients who were frustrated and said, well, they never call me back. Well, check your settings on your phone and make sure that you accept unknown callers as well, because that's how USCIS is going to call you. And finally, some important changes for rescheduling your biometric appointments. Many of you who are going through the process of renewing your work permits or extensions on your visitor visas, or even going through the green card process, you have to do your biometric appointment. Well, here are the following changes. One of the main processing units in Virginia is now shut down, and as a result, they're no longer accepting written requests to reschedule biometrics. So the new procedures require that you reschedule your biometrics by contacting the USCIS contact center, as we mentioned in the beginning of this video, what it is, by calling them and rescheduling your biometric, not in writing anymore. So hopefully these tips were valuable and helpful for you guys, because a lot of you are getting frustrated with dealing with USCIS. So a few tips to help you navigate the system slightly a little bit better. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos and any of our updates, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. And also, if you need a consultation, if you're stuck, if your case is not moving, make sure you text me 619-483-4549. Set up the consultation. I'm here for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.